We live in a very unique time, a time like no other. As human beings in today's world, we face many issues, probably more now than ever before. All of the things that I have studied and witnessed, as I grow older, I realize that I need God more than ever. The cataclysmic events that are occurring in some of our lives, when these things occur, they are indicators. There are forces at work that are letting you know that first, your thoughts need to be corrected. And you have to know and understand that there are beings all around us that work on our weaknesses, ultimately luring us toward darkness. I've seen the darkness many times, so I have been saved many times. I've come to realize that God allowed those things to happen to me. Some people think God would never do something evil, and I'm telling you, you haven't thought it through. He is the beginning and the end, the Father. Evil could not exist without him. I hear people humanize God all the time. He is not like us. We are like him. We are a representation, in a sense, mainly because of our humanity. People want to know what's going on, but they don't trust the word of the Lord, even if the science shows that it may be true. All they have to do is tell people that it's not, and they'll believe it. I know some people out there are hurting, but understand that these are your trials and tribulations. These are the things that create dramatic shifts in your life. And you can see the world changing. Social media is one of the catalysts for the changes occurring with people. Some people are oblivious to it, so they succumb to it. And this is one of the many indicators of a great fall. I know many of us have to deal with dark things in our lives, and some of us are living in the darkness, right? Wrong. A person may be in a dark place, but that is not the darkness. It's not. It's coming though. I'm sure you found yourself in that dark state of mind and you lost it. You had succumbed to the wickedness, and the only thing that pulled you from that dark state of mind was a decision you made to escape it. What bound you to it was a mental chain. At the time, you may not have understood why something was happening to you or why God allowed this to happen. But I'm telling you, it always takes the strength of your spirit to get through those times. You see, we are born with certain truths within us. These things were going to happen, and you knew all along. Something inside you told you that there would be major challenges coming in our later years. You knew this. That is why when you hear certain truths about the world, you have that feeling as if you already knew. Nobody had to tell you about it, but when someone did tell you about it, it seemed familiar. So, I want to discuss something we are all familiar with, and this is our current social media construct and its ultimate effect on your spirit. Let me ask you all something. How many of you have tried to do something in a heightened emotional state? And because you went out somewhere in that state of mind, you may have ended up bumping into someone you didn't want to bump into. And I'm not just talking about people you know, I'm talking about people you don't know. In that emotional state, you tend to run into or come into close proximity to some pretty bad people. There are several things happening to us right now that contribute to the downward spiral of our civilization. One of the things that has a huge impact on our way of life is social media. By the way, I have a Twitter account that I never use. I also have a Facebook account that I never use, and an Instagram account that I barely use. Right now, I'm working on a plan to eliminate those accounts and put a system in place to where people can reach out to me via the website. And I'll tell you why in a moment. It is important to understand that what God has instructed of us is truly meant to keep us healthy. But more often than not, people want to question it. They want to know why they should or should not do something. Social media has put us in a strange place, folks. You see, it's not good enough to know that social media ruins lives. People have to know why and how it's going to ruin their life. You know, before the flood came and wiped out almost everybody, they were warned, weren't they? The people of the earth knew what was coming for a very long time, just like today. It wasn't good enough to tell them that they would be wiped out by a great flood if they didn't repent. But they were too ensconced in their lifestyles. They didn't want to give that up. They enjoyed it, even if it meant the end of their life. People are like that today, aren't they? Now, of course, there are many, many things that we do that are unhealthy, but I just want to stay on social media for this discussion. Now, once upon a time, before social media became popular, whenever you spoke with someone, you would either call them or text them. But that conversation was private. It was between you and the other person. Whatever thoughts you had were your own, and whatever thoughts the other person had was their own. Your thoughts are yours, and they are private. I recently heard a discussion about this, and I kind of want to relay that message to you all. So here comes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and as their popularity grew, you begin to see people post things about other people. People begin to post things about their friends, about their cousins, and other family members. They begin to post things about their children. And they would post their thoughts about these people. And they would even post their thoughts about people they didn't know but heard about. And all this is true, and a big mistake. You see, people engaging in this, posting these things through Facebook and Twitter and things like it, other people would write comments, sharing their thoughts about that post, and so now the person reading the comments about their post is affected by some of those comments. And I can tell you, people have gotten divorced, separated, and have done harm to others by this device. This is one of the reasons people are so scary today. This is why they are so fearful. Because people don't share their thoughts in private anymore. They share their thoughts publicly to anyone who's listening. And really the main issue here is you have way too many friends. Outside of the people you interact with in your daily life, you know way too many people online. And way too many people know all the details. This is not healthy. You have way too many people who know way too much about you. That is a lot of opinions coming from different directions. No wonder we get lost and confused more than ever. Because we are constantly getting feedback from all these different people. It has a subconscious effect. We've seen this happen with Instagram. People get the wrong idea. Many people think that because they see someone working out or on a beach, smiling, having a good time with their friends, or maybe they use a face filter to alter their appearance. the people watching, they think that is their life. And then they begin to think about their own life. It causes them to think about their own situation. And so in this cycle, people will say, oh, but it's good to keep up with people. No, it's not. Not in that way. For example, it is not your job to keep up with or get involved in other people's drama. This is how you end up getting surrounded by it. If you are always trying to find out the bad thing that happened to someone, this is a habit that will affect your life. Because you absorb it, it enters your thoughts. What is the reasoning behind people keeping their kids away from adult entertainment? Because they know how it can affect them. So people are engaging in this drama media, and all these different ideas and scenarios are entering their heads. It is natural for people to want to help others, but what happens is people get involved into too many other people's lives. And so when they see bad things happening in their own life, they take all that information they obtained from social media and all that stuff they engaged in becomes their reality. And more things start to become more and more threatening. Anxiety develops. Understand that thoughts become things. You need to tell yourself, cancel, when you have those negative thoughts come to you. You may think that those are your thoughts, but you'd be mistaken. And you underestimate the power of the dark side. You see, these dark beings are real, and they are all around us, waiting for every moment they can to get at us. These things try to work their way into your life, and you will be able to see their influence come out in other people who live with you and who engage with you. You could be playing in the yard with your kids, and maybe all of a sudden the kid curses. They do something that pushes your buttons. It seems out of character, and so you're like, whoa, where did that come from? It's the spirits. And until people grasp this, until they understand this, they will never get rid of them. I'm not talking about inner demons, I'm talking about real demons. Did you know some of these entities have the names of emotions? And they can work on those negative emotions that are named after them. We have to ground ourselves spiritually as challenges continue to manifest. If we are to get through this, we will stumble, we will fall, and fail at times, yes. And really those are just reminders that we have strayed off the path. And these are the times when you ask God for guidance so that you can get back on the correct path. Folks, there is an army of challenges headed our way, and not everyone is going to make it. But if you are resolved in the beginning, you will not be perplexed, and you will realize that a strong spiritual foundation is what is going to help you survive the future. All those things revealed in Revelation, it is not my job to get you to believe any of that. You know, these quantum computers, they run simulations based on current data, and they can predict with extreme accuracy what the earth will look like in a few years, how many people will be around, and everything else. Because the computer can make projections based on almost every factor they can feed it. Everything that is going on in space, the weather, it can factor in every country and government, how people respond, act, and behave. It can factor in rising sea levels and temperatures, the money market, resources, supply and demand, everything going on in social media. The computer can take all these factors and provide a projection of the state of the world in the future. If everything continues down this path, and we can clearly see it's getting worse and worse. Thank you everyone for tuning in and joining me today. there is more to come very soon. I'm going to try to keep the content flowing regularly. Keep visiting woodwardentertainment.com as there will continue to be exclusive content uploaded there. Until next time, everyone, consider this message and consider how these things discussed may be affecting your life. And as always, friends, God bless. Stay awake, stay aware, stay safe. And I'll talk to you all soon.